Star Wars Outlaws is out now for Xbox Series X, PS5, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a Nintendo Switch port at some point. I don't know, it might already be released on Nintendo Switch, and I'm just blind to everything. As you can tell just from the title of this, it takes place in the Star Wars universe, specifically between the events of Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and you play as Kay Vess, a young scoundrel who is living on the planet of Cantonica in the city of Canto Bight. He has to go across the galaxy to assemble this team to score a heist on Canto Bight, which could be the biggest heist of her career. Yeah, no Jedi, no lightsabers, no nothing. This is legitimately just a crime syndicate Star Wars game. It really feels like the movie Solo, a Star Wars story that people have forgotten about, but a huge legion of the fan base really loves and wants there to be a sequel to. And honestly, like, this is kind of what I felt like this was. The visual presentation of this game, especially in the cutscenes, feels like you were playing a Star Wars movie, and it was portrayed fairly accurately. You had the music, you had the scene transitions, you had really smart, witty dialogue from characters in this, and I really enjoyed that, and I really like the character of Kay Vess. There's been a lot of controversy for some stupid reason about her on the internet. I have no clue why, because apparently people just don't want to play video games where you play as a female character. Listen, I've done that my whole life. If I had a problem with that, why would I play Tomb Raider? And why would I own Tomb Raider if that was a problem? No, I actually really liked Kay Vess, and I really liked her camaraderie with this group of characters that we have here, especially her little pet pal there, Nix. He's awesome. I love him. And this droid called ND5, and he's awesome too, and I love him. The gameplay is really fun. If this wasn't a fun game, I don't think I would have gotten as addicted as I was. And I just love it feels like it's Grand Theft Auto in space. You could just go up to somebody on the Empire or in some crime syndicate, kill them, and then get wanted by the entire galaxy or wanted by an entire crime syndicate. And that's actually really fun. Although I do feel like that the wanted system is a little bit undercooked. At points, there will be death troopers that come after you, especially if you infiltrate a base that is occupied by the Empire and you have to go in there. There was one mission where I had to infiltrate an Imperial base. The Empire saw me escaping, and so then there led to a big shootout, and then I got wanted, and then death troopers came after my ass, and they instantly killed me. I couldn't kill the death troopers. Yeah, I mean, you can't just go up to somebody randomly like in Grand Theft Auto and just smack them to the ground and knock them cold and unconscious. That won't get you wanted. But if you do stuff that is a little eye-opening to crime syndicates and the Empire itself, they're gonna come after you. It does feel a bit undercooked though, because all you have to do is just get on your speeder and escape them or run away to wherever there's hiding places. It's weird because you can hide in like tall grass and you can hide in like steam coming up from ventilation shafts. If they see you and they're coming after you, but they see you go in there, they're not gonna come after you. They're gonna be like, "Oh, where'd she go? Where'd she go?" It's just the stupidest thing I've ever seen in video games. And it's not just this game, it's every game. Is the AI really that stupid? The speeder controls are really hard to control, though. I mean, if you had played Star Wars Squadrons, you would probably get a bit of a hang of it, especially when you're flying through space in this game. But man, the speeder, I'd suggest not using the boost on the speeder because you already go super goddamn fast on the speeder. And if you use the boost on the speeder bike, you're gonna just run into something. This game has actually some really good collision detection, I will say that. You hit something, you're gonna go flying off that speeder and you're gonna die instantly. It actually does really good with collision detection. The gameplay is really fun too. I got this on Xbox Series X because I had heard that there were so many glitches on launch day on the PS5 version, so I didn't get it on PS5. I'd actually seen that Xbox had gotten better reviews, so I got it on Xbox, and I didn't encounter a single glitch. And maybe that's because I started playing it a couple of days after it had launched, because I had ordered it on the day it had launched. It had come on like a Saturday or something, and I didn't get to start playing it until like the next Tuesday. So maybe they patched everything up by then, but I didn't really experience any glitches or weird phenomenons with this game until the very end, where I got stuck on a rock and I couldn't get off. And then I had to reload the game, but luckily I had just saved the game, so it didn't really matter. I only lost like 28 seconds of progress. Combat is fluid, but it's also very repetitive. This is from the creative team behind Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. The mission structure, the combat, it's all very repetitive. It's all rinse and repeats. It's all stuff that they did in that game. You know, in that game, you know what frustrated me with that game? And I said this in my review for that game. You would have a quest objective, and then your mission objective would be, okay, climb this mountain. Okay, you just climbed it, climb it again. Oh, you thought you were done climbing it? Keep climbing it. They do that same thing in this game because they just drag out the missions in this game, but at least that stuff getting to a certain place in a quest wasn't repetitive, but it was long and drawn out at times. And what I did think was repetitive was, oh, hey, you got to go to these different planets to go and get these characters across the galaxy that you can recruit for your heist. Fine. I just wish it wasn't, oh, you got to go to the town, you got to ask somebody where they are, then you got to go to where they are, and then, oh, they're stuck in a ship, and you got to climb the ship, you got to traverse the ship. It's literally Assassin's Creed meets Avatar Frontiers of Pandora meets Ghost of Tsushima meets Red Dead Redemption and Grand Theft Auto. The lockpicking in this game is fucking brutal. Even on the easiest difficulty, it's like the worst thing ever. It's that thing that they do in like the first Halo games, or I think in all the Halo games actually. If you're playing multiplayer in Halo, where you hit the pause button, but everything is still happening around you, and then if you're playing multiplayer, if you hit the pause button, your friends could come up behind you and still kill you. It's like that when you're lockpicking in this game. So like put it on the easiest difficulty, but even then, it's hard on the easiest difficulty. I had to turn off everything for lockpicking. And this game doesn't explain anything to you. I'm glad it doesn't hold your hand, but at the same time, it's like, can you give me a tutorial as to how this works? Instead, when you start lockpicking, you have to hit left trigger and it'll tell you. And the way they explain it makes no sense at all anyways. You have to line it up to like the beat. And even then, it's like it can take 3 tries, it could take 9 tries. There was one time it took me 20 tries and the lock finally unlocked. Even though I was hitting the button on the right beat, it took me 20 tries to get that thing open. That was a pain in the ass, man. The side content's not really all that fleshed out either. I mean, yeah, you can just get some upgrades, you can get new cosmetic stuff, but it's really the most baseline generic stuff you see in an open world video game like this. It really doesn't offer anything new, and I don't think any open world video game is really going to offer anything new, but I don't know. Like I was just spent maybe an hour yesterday just traversing the galaxy after I had beaten the game. And on every planet I went to, there was always like this pirate raid. And I'm just like, that just shows me how repetitive this open world is, or that there was an Imperial base under attack. And that showed me too how unoriginal this game is. Like it didn't seem like there was a lot of content in the open world that was actually worth doing. But what I do like about this game is that this game does feel like it is a story straight out of the crime syndicate world of Star Wars. It feels like a continuation of something like Solo, a Star Wars story. It has all the twists and turns in it. I was more riveted by the story and the characters in this than the entire gameplay itself, which says a lot. I got addicted to the game for sure. There was probably one day where I didn't play because I was just so tired, but at the same time though, it's like it didn't feel like it was offering a really original combat or adventure experience that I feel like that they were trying to sell so hard with this game. Instead, the story's really good. There's a lot of twists and turns and a lot of surprises with the story in terms of legacy characters coming in, but nothing gameplay wise really was like, oh, that's amazing. That's new, that's fresh. No, I mean, obviously game companies are like movies. They take things that work well in video games, try and put a fresh spin on them to make them feel like, yeah, you've done this before, but you haven't done it before. But I didn't get that with this game. Even though I was addicted, I was really entertained. I think I was just taking in everything with this world. But I will say, some of these planets are hard to traverse. Kijimi, hard to traverse. Akiva, hard to traverse. Canto Bight, easy to traverse. Tatooine was my favorite planet. Going to Jabba's palace was my favorite part of the game. That middle section of the game is really entertaining, really fun. And I think that that's where the game peaked for me. And actually, what I do like is that it does give you the choice. It gives you the choice to go to either Tatooine, Akiva, or Kijimi first. You don't have to do them in order. I did a Kijimi, Tatooine, and then Akiva. You can do those 3 planets in any order. However you feel, after you get off of Toshara, you are free to roam whatever of those 3 planets, or if you want to go back to Canto Bight and roam there, you can do that too. And I like that it gives you the player choice like that. Aside from the characters, the story, and the visuals, the gameplay didn't really grab me, even if I did feel like it was addicting. I think I was just wrapped into this world because it felt like syndicates of Star Wars. I wanted to be part of the syndicates of Star Wars. Oh yeah, that's another thing. The choices you make in the game influence your standing with the syndicates. But it seems like you just stab everybody in the back anyway. So it's like you're gonna have a mediocre reputation with any of the syndicates anyways. Maybe I just didn't do enough side content. Who knows? I'm always a story first, side content guy later in open world games, but when I'm reviewing a game, I always make sure I do some side content, and I did some stuff for the syndicates. I was on the shit list for everybody except for Crimson Dawn. And with the side content that I did for Crimson Dawn, I didn't really gain that much of a reputation more than I already had with them. So even that system is undercooked. So I feel like that system's undercooked. The wanted system's undercooked. The gameplay doesn't offer anything special. It feels like a reskin of Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, just in third person, but way more fun, honestly. And because it has a better story and better characters, and because it's Star Wars, and I love Star Wars more than I love Avatar. This is a fun game. I don't think it's worth the $70 price point, probably 50 bucks. There you go. So that's my review of Star Wars Outlaws. I might do a spoiler review where I talk more about the story and the characters because there's a lot of surprises in here that really caught me off guard. And I was really, really shocked when I saw some of these surprises. That may be a video, it may not. I have no idea. I haven't made up my mind yet. So if you guys have played Star Wars Outlaws, let me know what you think of it in the comment section below. I'll leave my link to my website in the description below as well. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I'll see you at the movies somewhere.